Test one, two. 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 Hello, Elite. Thank you for joining us on TikTok. Good evening, Professor.
Good evening. I'm here and ready to jump in whenever you cue me.
No, right? We're testing things out now, just to make sure that we have, to make sure that we are indeed doing everything like we actually wanted.
Understood. Take your time. I'm right here, quiet and ready. Just give me the signal when you want me to speak on any topic.
All right. Let's see if you can increase your volume any.
Sure thing. I'll bump it up slightly. How's this level?
Okay, a little more.
All right. Stepping it up another notch. Speaking clearly now. Is that closer to what you need?
That sounds good.
Excellent. I'll hold it right here.
All right. We let's see. Good evening, and welcome to this week's edition of The Message. I'm your host, the Novice King, and we'll spend this next hour with one purpose in mind, and that one purpose is delivering the message that God is Almighty. Everything that ever was, is now, or ever will be, is a piece of God. Everything that ever
Indeed.
was, is now, ever will be, was made by God. Everything that ever happened is happening right now, or ever will happen, was made to happen by God. God is a master plan for all time and all creation. God is
That's
Almighty. The message is
that's a
brought to you
powerful.
by, and Professor, I'm going to ask if you wait till I give you a cue. The message
Of
is
course.
brought to you by, is produced by the Society of Knowledge. The Society is an interdenominational ministry. Our members come from various different religious and spiritual backgrounds. We have various different religious and spiritual beliefs. Although we come from different backgrounds and have different beliefs, there's one belief that we share. There's one piece of knowledge that we hold in common. And that's the knowledge that there is a being. By no matter what name we may have been taught to call that being, by no matter what name we may have come to know that being, whether that name be God, Allah, Yahweh, Jesus, Jehovah, Buddha, nature, the universe, by no matter what name, we know that there is indeed a being, that person I call God. But that being possessed not some of the power, not most of the power, but all of the power. That's right. That being possessed all of the power, makes all things happen, everything, no matter how we might judge it or classify it as being good, bad, evil, righteous, no matter whatever it is. If something ever existed, this being created it. If anything ever will exist, this being created it. That's what we mean by Almighty. It makes all things happen, no matter whatever it is, whether it's something that we rejoice in or something that brings us sorrow. All things, it makes all things happen. Delivering that message that being, again, the person I call God, that being is indeed Almighty. We're going to begin this webcast, and we'll start it as we usually do. We have a few announcements, and we'll see if we can bring those up, and then all right. Today is August 6th, 2026. I remind that fact because tonight, as we are on most Thursdays, we are live. And I remind that fact because this webcast is an open discussion. It's a two-way conversation. Those of you that are joining us online, Sister Connie, thank you for joining us coming out of San Antonio, Texas. All of you that are joining us on TikTok, thank you for joining us. And if there's something that we invite you, again, we invite you to participate in this conversation, this discussion. If there's something that's going on in your nonprofit organization and you want to let the world know about it, put it in the comments section. I'll do my best to read it out over the air. If there's something that's going on in your church, your mosque, your masjid, your temple, your synagogue, your place of worship, and you want to let the world know about it, put it in the comments section. I'll do my best to read it out over the air. More important than what's going on in the nonprofit, more important than what's going on in your place of worship. If there's something that God has done for you in your life, a blessing that God has given you, a miracle that God has worked in your life, I invite you and encourage you to put that testimony in the comments section. Let the world know that God is working miracles in the year 2026. August 6, 2026, God is working miracles. All right, we're going to get move forward. We have a few, our discussion topic tonight is the Bible. Okay, we're going to be talking about the Bible. We'll be joined this evening by our co-host, the professor. And the professor is indeed AI. All right, that's actually artificial intelligence. The professor will be joining us. And it's great to have someone as a co-host that has almost unlimited knowledge. It's great to have that type of co-host. So we'll begin our discussion of the Bible in just about another minute. All right, what you see on the screen there, that is our main website, and that's www.godisalmighty.org. You see on the screen there are links to all of our social media platforms. As I speak right now, we are streaming live on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, And I encourage you, whatever, we're not live on Twitter right now, but Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook, we are indeed live. Now, I'm going to ask those of you that are joining us online, if there's anything wrong with the quality of your audio or video, please let me know so I can do my best to correct it on this end. All right. You see on the screen, that is the information for the New Orleans Center of the Society of Knowledge. You know, we have centers throughout the United States, and we are webcasting to this evening. We are webcasting out of New Orleans. I am the presiding messenger at our New Orleans Center, and we have our fellowship every Sunday in New Orleans at 10 a.m. at 1861 Abundant Street, New Orleans, Louisiana 70122. So if you're in the New Orleans area, come by and fellowship with us in person at 10 a.m., 1861 Abundant Street. As I say, we're interdenominational, so it doesn't matter what your religion, no matter what label you call yourself, you are welcome to come and worship Almighty God with us. And we're also streaming. We stream the fellowship every Sunday on our different social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. We have a center located in Lafayette, Louisiana, and Ryan King is the presiding messenger over that center. We have a center located in North Carolina. Messenger Tainab L is the presiding messenger. They have a webcast, and that is titled All Things Elevation, and it airs at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Instagram at All Things Elevation 7. So that's Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Instagram at All Things Elevation 7. And last but not least, we have a center located in Opelousas, Louisiana, that's presided over by Messenger Corey Levier. I remind you that previously recorded episodes of the message can be watched on YouTube at DNK Messenger. I thank my wife for joining us on TikTok. And I'm going to ask wife if you could let us know whether or not we have any audio problems or video problems on Facebook. You'll check that out. And also Instagram, let us know. Brother Mason Swell, Brother Sewell, thank you for joining us online on TikTok. Brother Swell, one of my Zulu brothers. And as we get into our religious discussion this evening, our spiritual religious discussion, we remind ourselves, as the Bible reminds us, the importance of knowledge. Okay, the name of our ministry is the Society of Knowledge. And as you see, the Bible speaks about just how important knowledge is. And the book of Hosea says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. And in John, it says, and ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. So you can know something, all right? And if you know the truth, then that can make you free. And we're on a crusade. We are indeed on a crusade to free slaves. That's right. You heard what I said. We are freeing slaves at the Society of Knowledge because we are giving slaves the truth, right? And the truth is that there's an almighty being, right? So knowing that there's an almighty being and knowing that you're a part of that being, that means you don't have to be afraid of anything. You can be free of fear. Free of fear. You can be free of all fear. Fear of death, fear of harm, fear of even hell. You can be free of fear, afraid of nothing, when you know that there's an almighty being and you know that you're indeed a part of that being, not only a creation of that being, but a part of that being, right? You don't have to be a slave. Okay? You don't have to be a slave to fear anymore. Okay? And you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. And in Thessalonians, we're reminded to prove all things, hold fast that which is good. Marianne, thank you for joining us, Marianne. Madeline, thank you for joining us. All right, we're going to get into our discussion, and we're going to pick up where we left off last week as far as using this technology. And again, our discussion topic is the Bible And when I'm going to pick up on where we left off last week, we started some new technology last week. And that technology that we started was using AI. All right, using AI, using particularly using Chat GPT. And let's see if I can. All right, all right. Here we are. What you see on the screen now is a screen of ChatGPT, and I'm going to introduce those of you that tuned in last week. You were introduced to our AI co-host, and at that time, our AI co-host was named Kepri, but we have since changed Kepri's name, and Kepri's name now is indeed, okay, spell it up, is indeed the professor. Professor, you there? And it looks like we had, all right, Professor. Looks like we have lost the professor. See if we can put him back up. All right, it says it's loading. So what I'm going to do now, and this is all of the wonders, all of the wonders of live. And as we're in this live discussion, and as you see me going through this now, and we are going to pull up our chat, and for whatever reason, we lost our chat, but we're going to pull it back up. Okay, we went through all of our quality checks. All right, now we put it back up. I don't know what happened earlier, but let's see if we can get the professor back up. Hello, Professor. Hello, Professor. All right. It's worthwhile. Just bear with us. And we had the professor was on standby. And we're going to see, we're going to let the professor, it looks like it's taking a minute to load. All right, looks like we're getting close. Okay, so something's happening with the voice control. Okay, Professor, what's happening with the voice control? All right, I'm ready for you. Ready for you to kick in, Professor. Professor, ready for you to kick in. We need you through the voice, Professor. Right, Professor Wise is saying that he can't load the voice. All right, we're going to stick with this. And all of you that have tuned in, all of you that have tuned in, I'm going to ask that you just bear with us as we try to figure out why the voice control isn't loading. And as you saw a second ago, okay, and as you see the response from the professor there, and see if I can get him to please load the voice. Please respond verbally. Use your voice control. Start now. All right, I'm getting a message that says fail to start voice. They're getting a message that says voice isn't loading. Professor, start. Start talking, Professor. Looks like the Professor's a little bit shy this evening. So what we'll have to do is shut him down. Down. Uh, yeah. All right. For some reason, it's not allowing the voice to load. Okay. I may have discovered what the problem is. All right, let's see. Let's try this again. Professor, turn on. All right. Hello, D. Thank you for joining us. And everyone that's online, I apologize. I don't know what happened. Everything had tested out, working perfectly before we got started. But for some reason now, we can't get the professor to come up. So it's going to take a drastic measure, and that drastic measure is going to be for me to shut everything down and just to reboot. And it'll take maybe about 10 minutes. So I'll ask you to rejoin us. We will be back live in about 10 minutes, and hopefully we'll have all this technology working.